What's happening?
100%.
And what gave you the confidence?
Delusion.
Yo, what is going on, guys? Got a video for you here today from Alpha Central titled 25 Minutes of American Women Being Shocked at Rejection Overseas. So these are women who went overseas to go and hunt for their Prince Charming, you know, their 6 foot, 6-figure man, only to get rejected over there as well. That is absolutely hilarious. Now, today's video was suggested to me by Locke the Bounty Hunter. I'm going to leave his channel linked in the video description, as well as the original video, so don't forget to go and subscribe to those guys, and let's jump into it.
About the men that I have dated in different countries. I'm in Italy right now, having my morning cappuccino, and I have some thoughts. First thought is that this is going to be a little bit controversial, but the most chivalrous men, like opening doors, walking street side, that is an American chivalry culture. That particular type of chivalry is found in the southern USA, particularly in Texas. Problem is you have to deal with everything else that comes with that. But yeah, you can't really expect that type of chivalry that I have found in other countries. Even in the ones that I love, that I prefer to date in, like Italy, the chivalry it's not like that.
One of the biggest problems with the passport system movement is that they choose countries in places like Europe, and they think that the men will flock to them because they're Americans. It doesn't work that way at all.
Tell me about dating Frenchmen.
American men, in my opinion, are easy. They have, I would say, a range of 4 to 5 emotions. Hungry, really hungry, tired, sports. French guys have like 15,000 more. Blasé, malaise. They have a range that we have never seen before in America. Dating a Frenchman is really anthropological. It's really psychological. It's a game where there are no winners and there are a lot of tears.
She's using a lot of big words here to try and explain why French men don't want her, but it's not the Frenchmen that are the problem. She just insulted an entire group of men for no reason. That's her problem.
Listen, ladies, if you're coming to France, for some reason, you thought this is the city of romance. You're right. This is the city of romance. We put French and French together for Europeans to intermingle. You don't know the rules here, okay? This is not an even playing field.
She has no idea how ignorant she sounds right now. It shows a massive lack of cultural appreciation, not to mention empathy for other people.
I am an American living abroad, and I kind of wanted to talk about my experience with dating culture in Europe versus America. So my personal experience is that American guys are much more straightforward and blunt when they like you. As a girl, you don't really have to do much. They will just come up to you and be like, hey, you're cute, like, what's up? European men, they will make eye contact with you, like, you know, give you like that look, and that's where it ends. Like, they will not make a move, they will not talk to you. You have to make the move as a woman.
That's not just a European thing. Even in America, modern women will complain that she'll make eye contact with a guy who doesn't make a move. It's almost as if men can choose who they want to talk to, and that doesn't change just because the country is different.
I really don't know why that is. Maybe girls are more bolder here. Maybe it's a respect thing. But honestly, I've been freaking struggling. Like, that's so scary for me. And I will probably never ever make the first move. Like, I'll hint, but if you don't catch the hints, like, so I'll probably just stay single.
This woman would rather stay single than risk walking up to the guy that she finds attractive and saying hello, because getting rejected is no big deal just so long as she's not the one getting rejected.
Listen up. Dating is different over here, okay? If you're moving abroad to Spain, if you're studying abroad, if you're just visiting and you're planning on like doing the dating apps over here, I'm going to prepare you, okay? Because it's different. Number one difference, I would say, is the guys in the USA are way more forward. Like, it is in the culture to approach a girl and be like, can I buy you a drink? And here, they do not do that, okay? I'm not saying it's not gonna happen for you, but it's just less normal, okay?
If you're going to be living abroad for an extended period of time, then it's your job to assimilate into the culture where you're living. But apparently that doesn't count if it's an American woman trying to find a guy.
Number two, it's also not completely normalized to pay on the first date. Like, it's not abnormal to split the check. And like, everyone knows it's like completely culturally unacceptable in the USA if the guy tries to split the check on the first date in the USA. Here, it's common.
It's not culturally unacceptable in the States to split a dinner bill. It's unacceptable because modern women are cheap and refuse to pay for anything that isn't exclusively for themselves.
The dating scene in Australia is quite tragic.
I really feel for the single people in Australia.
Yeah.
Every woman I speak to is literally like, it is treacherous out there.
Dire.
Like,
Drab.
the men are just so below par. I don't know what's going on. Like, they can't court you properly, or they don't come up to you when you're out, or they're like so addicted to online dating that it's just constantly a rotor of women. I don't know.
But I feel for men, because I feel like society's actually made it a lot harder for them. They're scared of like, I don't know. It's like obviously there's a very distinct difference between being a creepy person and being a confident person. But I think it's been attacked so heavily that, I don't know, I would feel like it would kind of be nerve-wracking.
Society, quote unquote, didn't make dating hard for men. That was modern women who sit in chairs on podcasts and openly condemn men for not being good enough to meet their impossible standards.
I traveled across state lines to go see a man. After spending about like 3 hours with me, this man looked me dead in my face and said, "Hey, I think you should go home now." And I said, "Excuse me?" And he said, "I think you should leave." And I said, "Leave and go where?" And he goes, "Back home." And I'm like, "I'm supposed to be here the whole weekend." And he's like, "But I don't want you to be here the whole weekend."
The fact that this woman blindly assumed that she was going to have a place to stay without booking a hotel or anything like that is her problem. You think she would do that since men are oh so dangerous, you know? So he must have been a really good-looking guy.
So as an American, here are some things I hate about dating in Germany. So first of all, my main thing, and I guess this is a very culture thing, like American thing, is that they do not pay for your drinks here. They will maybe pay for your first drink, and then you have the second round. Yay. So, I'm sorry.
Their chief complaint is that they're expected to pay for their own food and drinks. Imagine how many good dudes they turn down because she's too broke to buy her own meals.
But I get it. They want to be more equal with women. So I don't know. I guess I get their side, but at the same time, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm not getting all dressed up, and I'm sorry, but usually wasting my time meeting these men to pay for my 2 gin tonics or 3. I'm not doing that. Come on. You seriously want to be a cheap? I don't know. Maybe I'm just in the wrong city.
Throwing out an insult like that really does show how little respect she has for German culture. She honestly expects European men to just throw money into a bottomless pit for a woman who's clearly ungrateful for absolutely everything.
Another thing, and I guess this is kind of a whole Germany thing, maybe Europe-wide, I don't know, is that they love to go on walks for I am not... I don't want to go on a walk. I don't want to go on a walk. I like to go on a walk if it's a sunny day or not too sunny. I don't want to be sweating. Or if it's I don't know, we're going to the park. I just don't consider that a date. These men will literally buy you a 1 euro beer and go to the park and say that's a date.
The problem here is how she expects a date to come with a hefty price tag where she doesn't have to pay a single euro, but that's not how it works. Western men are not dumb. They know what these women are after.
Another thing, and I think this is more if you're dating a German, they will straight up tell you if you look bad, and I guess in America we're more wishy-washy, but I prefer that. If my dress doesn't look amazing, just say, oh, why don't you try on this dress instead? That one looks good, but this one might be better. You don't say, oh no, that looks on you, no, not that one. Thank you for your unsolicited opinion. I was asking you to affirm me, not tell me I look. But that's just the culture difference, you know?
She was hoping that German men would be these refined, noble men who will act like knights in Disney movies, but these men value their time and money, and they won't waste it on a woman who loves to complain on the internet.
One thing I was not expecting when I moved to England was how big of a difference dating here compared to an American city is. Was not expecting it at all. Specifically the bar scene and how guys go about approaching girls at the bar. A pub, a club, whatever you want to freaking call it. In the US, I feel like it's pretty common if you're sitting at a bar and you see a cute guy or a cute girl and you guys kind of exchange looks a couple times, like, you know the look. If the guy finds you attractive, he will approach you. Or if it's a group of guys and a group of girls, like same thing, right? Here, no. We had this discussion with an entire group of Englishmen, so I'm not just making this up.
Modern women think that hints and subtle gestures are the exact same thing as walking up to a dude and saying hello, but even in America that doesn't even work. It's just lazy and entitled.
We were out with a couple friends and we were grabbing drinks and we saw this big group of guys, and so like we were kind of giving them like the eye, you know, we wanted to chat with somebody. Swear to God, they were just like, a half hour later, they were like 2 steps closer to us. And then a couple minutes later, like a couple steps closer to us. It took them almost an hour to get near us. They were like, we didn't know you guys were American. British girls would have just like came up to us. Like we gave you the look, like you were supposed to approach us.
Her complaint can be boiled down to, why don't European men act like Americans when it comes to dating? It shows a massive amount of disrespect towards the culture of the country where she's living.
Whoever started the stereotype that French guys are so romantic was lying. What would you do if a man texted you and asked you out to dinner and named a specific restaurant and then never confirms it, and then you don't hear from him the whole next day? Then when you finally do hear from him, he says, hey, sorry, I'm really broke right now, but I saw that you have a really huge kitchen. Can I come over and cook for you instead? I used to never talk about what dating in Paris is actually like because I was always scared that these guys that I'm dating would see this on TikTok, but you know what? I have nothing left to lose.
Women like this just blindly assume that going to places like France and Italy are somehow going to be more romantic because movies and assumptions told them so. They didn't bother to do any cultural research before actually flying out.
He texts me and he's like, let's go to this restaurant if you're down. And I'm like, of course I'm down. It's one of my favorites. The day of the date, I don't hear from him the whole day. And in my head, I already decide, I'm like, I'm not going. Like, I'm not gonna text a man ever and be like, are we still hanging out tonight? Or like, what time are we meeting? Just say, okay, I get it. We've all been there. There's been periods where I have no money, but like, one, maybe don't say that to a woman that you're trying to date who's also like younger than you and you also have a full-time job. 2, you suggested the restaurant. You suggested a restaurant in general. I'm literally honestly even embarrassed to like be sharing this story with you all.
You can always leave it to a hopelessly single woman to try and lecture men about dating culture, and when things don't go her way, you can count on her to complain about it online as if that's going to solve anything.
What a weird date. Now I'm just standing here, gonna order an Uber myself. Something that I did not like on the date was he kept calling me spießig, which I'm interpreting as negative. He was suggesting like, yeah, let's go in the hot tub, and I was like, well, not on the first date. I just feel like he had kind of like an idea of who I am as a person, and then it kind of did not fit what he thought, who he thought I was.
This dude was calling her bourgeois and naturally assumed that she was just out to have some bedroom fun. She couldn't even be bothered to learn some German before dating German men.
And then kept calling me spießig the whole time. I really did not like that because I'm taking that very negatively. Because he kept calling me spießig, I asked him to rate the date from a 1 to 10, 10 being the best, 1 being the worst. He rated it a 6. Maybe that's just the German directness. Kept calling me like typical Munich person. Not that I'm taking it personally, but I'm definitely like thinking he's reading me wrong. He seemed kind of disappointed. And we also had a few awkward hugs at the end, so...
This woman is used to men beating around the bush and telling her things that she wants to hear, so naturally when she's in a culture that's known for its bluntness, she freaks out because it reminds her that she's not so perfect.
The thing is, we've seen each other throughout the years, but we've always seen each other at festivals and out partying. I told him that. I was like, you've always seen me in like a party situation. Like, what should I do? Jump around and scream now like I'm at a festival? Like, I don't know what you want from me. We're sitting on a couch. Like, of course I'm going to be a little bit less... whatever. I swear, I cannot make this up. Not my Uber driver playing sad classical music, and all I can think is spießig, spießig, spießig.
Now, I tried to say it, but it was too horrible of a pronunciation, and I won't do that to your ears. It basically means you're the human version of a wet blanket. The more you know.
One of the drawbacks of living abroad is if you don't bother to learn the language, you set yourself up for people calling you names to your face and getting away with it. She expects the culture to adapt to her and not the other way around.
Ladies, be prepared to split the check. Yeah, the men here do expect the woman to have it all together. So don't be surprised if you have to split the bill.
Another thing, if you're dating a German and he asks you for a date, make sure you carry your own money, guys. Make sure you carry your own money.
In Germany, if you did not know, it's really common here for when two people go on a first date that they split the bill. So, like, the woman pays her portion and a man pays his portion. So, let's say I got a margarita for $8 and he just got water, free water. When the total bill comes out, it's very common for the man or whoever to be like, hey, I didn't drink that margarita, so I don't want to split it like that. I want to pay for what I ate.
Apparently, modern women assumed that Europe was the land of free drinks and dinners. If that's what's important to her, she should just stay in America where the odds of that are more likely. It's that simple.
How difficult is it to meet a man in Thailand as a foreign woman? Okay, I know a lot of people who have met their long-term partners or husbands here. I did as a foreign woman, but I would say, generally speaking, most of my foreign friends that are women have found it very difficult to date, and ultimately it's been a big reason to leave. Maybe they love the lifestyle and they were here for a long time, but they were just like sick of the games. I mean, kind of like go figure, but most Thai and most foreign men are here for Thai women.
The reason why men can get with women in places like Thailand is because what they have to offer a woman is usually seen with some form of gratitude. Women just expect men to blindly give them everything for no reason.
Not for foreign women. It's not all. Don't come for me on that one. But yeah, I would say that I've known so many women who have ultimately left because they're like, look, I want to meet someone. I want to date. I'm sick of just like being played by these men. The dating pool tends to be really small for men who are interested in foreign women here. So they get around.
The amount of ignorance that these women have overseas is insane. They just assume that foreign men will flock to them, but it has never worked that way and they'll never understand why.
Okay, but genuine question. Is there something in the air in Australia? Because why are the men not menning? Like, how do I explain this? The roles are reversed here lately. I travel a lot, whether it's interstate or overseas. There's a dramatic difference of how men talk and carry themselves in different countries and Australia. I don't care if you're from Sydney, Melbourne, Adelaide, Queensland, wherever the hell you're from. Men in Australia want to be chased. Men in Australia are the ones that play hard to get.
If this woman traveled across Australia and wasn't able to find a single guy, then the problem is on them and their impossible expectations. But in her eyes, it's not her fault. It's literally every man in the country, apparently.
They don't choose the restaurants to go to. They take longer to get ready than the females. They don't spoil women. Random people in America, for example, have given me roses on the street. Like, oh, you're so beautiful, shawty. Here's a rose. I'm like, oh my god. Like, high-value women that work, look after themselves and spoil themselves don't ask for much when it comes to a high-value man. We just want constant time, affection, love. It's not that hard to send a text message saying, be ready by 6. I booked a restaurant. I want to see you. Can't wait.
Of course, she would say that dating women like her isn't that hard. All the man needs to do is blindly simp for her and maybe she'll pretend to be interested in him. She demands one thing but goes after the exact opposite every single time.
I don't think I'll ever date a French man again. I feel like a lot of them are really insecure, and if you are a baddie, they are going to shame you for this. On Friday night, I was in the club with my friends. At some point, there's a guy who comes and talks to me. So he asked me, what are you doing for a living? But I don't want to give him my real job, so I just said I'm a fitness influencer. And his reaction was like, oh no, not a fitness influencer. You're not doing this. Like, I said the most disgusting thing ever.
A lot of these fitness influencers got famous by recording themselves in provocative positions, or they shame men at gyms. Of course, he's likely going to say something like that, but the sad part is she was lying about her real career, which most likely involves recording herself in provocative positions.
And I was like, what? That's so weird. I mean, who cares? But I feel like these guys, they cannot handle when a girl goes online and gets attention from other men because she's pretty, because she's hot or whatnot. But what I don't like is that you're trying to shame me for something that has nothing to be ashamed about. I think it's giving small PP energy.
She's going on this rant about how French men are just insecure and are trying to shame her when she's too ashamed to tell this man what she actually does for a living. The projection is strong with this one.
Do you know why most of Russian men actually struggle to date Western women, in particular Americans? And I heard that point from quite a few Russian guys, specifically from one of them who are, well, they're usually better quality Russian men because, you know, there are bad people and like good people among every single like nationality, whatever. But with Russian guys is that to the taste of a Russian man, Western women are a wee bit too masculine to their liking, you know, a bit too independent and sometimes, you know, even like aggressively masculine.
It should be a surprise to nobody that masculine men don't like masculine women. That's not shocking news, okay? That's common knowledge. But American women have fooled themselves into thinking that is a shocking revelation.
This is what I remember from what like Russian guys would say, and I was talking about some like really good Russian guys who actually could be your marriage material providers and all that stuff. And also when they talk specifically about American women, every single guy, as soon as he's not blind, he's a very visual creature. So they love that our Russian women do their best to look put together, take care of themselves, you know, dress nice and feminine, you know, and just, you know, not walk around the neighborhood in their pajamas, which American people are notorious for. I'm not talking like New York, Los Angeles, and Miami. I'm talking about Midwest. And it's a sad reality, okay?
But anyway, guys, we're going to be leaving today's episode there. As always, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you are new here. Drop a comment and I will see you all in the next one. Make sure you take care of yourselves. Peace.